And good afternoon on this lovely sunny July 2022 day. It's Dave Lane here from Dutch Tents UK doing another showcase tent video. This one is featuring a Slee company from Utrecht, SLEE, who specialised in lightweight tents like Carl Denig and Erdmann Schmidt, and Slee are a very well known brand within the Netherlands camping world, perhaps not so well known here, but they were producers of superb quality tents. This particular one is called an Okran Village, and it's capable of doing all sorts of things. It's very adaptable and versatile, particularly around the front. Despite the fact that on the video it probably looks, a sort of a smallish tent, it is a 4-berth. It's enormous when you go inside. It's like the TARDIS, which I'll come to in a minute when we get there. So there's the back end. We have a zip here, and we have these tabs here, which means that if we unpeg here, we can fold back, open up the flaps at the back, so you can get a lot of airflow through. It's unusual in that it has these extra tabs here. Never come across this on any other pyramid tent. But what it does do is it pulls the sidewalls out and just makes it a little bit more spacious inside. As we go around the front, we can also see this really lovely Deward tent, which is going to be promoted separately on my Facebook page, Dutch Tents for Sale. This is a quartz model, and they also had a large big front tent that could attach to them. What we see here is effectively the sleep tent. It's quite big. Take the inner tent out and it's very big for a small tent. And then we get onto this, very big for a small tent. So I'll put a chair and table in here for scale. Those other 2 poles you're looking at are for the door, which presently is tied up, but that goes out like a sun awning, and we'll see that in a minute. Then we move on to this. It's quite sizable inner tent, really. Looking at that, I would say, I reckon you'll get a double self-inflating mat in there, one side of the seam and another. I reckon you get 4 in there at a push, comfortably, not comfortably. For 2, absolutely palatial, loads of space in there, lovely lit in a tent. And we've got a side window at the back with zips that can be dropped down, so if you have the rear door open you can get stacks of ventilation. But we'll have a little look at all that when we come back to it. So this is a gauze door. We also have the main doors here that are presently tied up with the ties there, so that means you have privacy as well. Although these are lightweight tents, so they're made of a thinner canvas, 180 gram. They're extremely well made. Aluminium poles all throughout to keep the weight down, but really tightly pitched to make them drum just like their bigger brothers. I'm 5'9", and I'm just wandering around inside here with my head not touching the roof. King pole up there, I would say that's probably 2 meters. Door pole height, I'm thinking 160, 165. Because of the length of the tent, we've also got a roof bar connecting the king pole to the front door poles. These are so wide that with my arms outstretched either side I can't reach them. So this is big. There's a lot of space in here. If you have the table and chair, you could imagine you could get a lot bigger table and chair in here. It's absolutely wonderful space. Side walls are presently tied back. I'm going to unzip everything and zip it all down in a minute. The front here we have additional zips. These disconnected. You can see how those 2 tabs there will connect in with the main support rope, but if you do that with that one and you do that with that one, you see the tabs again here, the tie tabs, and you would tie that up. What I'm going to do for the video actually is I'm just going to throw it over onto the roof. So now you can really see how it all opens up. So let's show you the sun canopy stroke door. So we can see how the door, it's very loosely pitched, is now a sun canopy. If you want more covered outdoor space. Show it from underneath. And again, if you want to drop it right down if the weather comes in, or if you've got the sun directly in front of you. So the door also has a storm skirt, so when the door is zipped down you've still got the storm skirt at the front. You can see it's quite deep, but in this position, in terms of if you had the sun in front of you, it'd give you a lot more shade. Great, isn't it? Okay, so let's have a little look what it looks like all zipped up. So all zipped down, I think you get an idea now how big the front door is. We've also got, just keeps going on, doesn't it? Things you can do with this tent. So we have a window flap here, and again this has hoops if you want to peg this up with the poles. I'm not sure why you would, get in the way actually, but we've got a really big, huge gauze there, so there's stacks of ventilation. This tent is in absolutely beautiful condition. There's no patches and rips and tears and holes. There's no mould. The odd bit of bird poo, I think. Wonderful, wonderful. Right, quick water test. See what happens when we soak it with a hose pipe. So what's it like with the hose pipe on it? Okay. Don't think we've got any concerns with waterproofing here. What we can do is have a little look at some of the marks on the back, because the canvas isn't completely unmarked. We've got some little marks there. I'm not sure what they are. They kind of almost feel like mud. But they're not a problem. There's a few of them there. They must be off a tree, because people do tend to camp under trees. Yeah, they're nothing. Let's go in and have a little look. In fact, let's do the front of the tent, because I mainly did the back. Let's do the front. So it's easier to test the inside of the canvas. Give it a real pasting. Okay, let's go inside and have a look. So the area that we've done is here, and it's bone dry. Wetting it has shown up those little marks a little bit more, but there's no wetness through them either. I reckon it's tree sap. Yes, it is. I can smell it. Yeah, it's tree sap. Okay, oh, that's fine. I mean, you know, it doesn't look the best in the world, but really, is it a major problem? It's great for waterproofing anyway. Bash the water off the tent. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. So I think we've established it's pretty good in the rain as well. So here we are. It's an amazing tent. So the advantage of a lightweight, the fact that there's no plastic on the front will make it good for larpers, but you know what, that storm skirt is nylon, so maybe not. This tent will so easily fit in the back of even a small car. The poles, the uprights, they're all aluminium, so they're light. The pegs are lighter weight too. Although when I got this out of the bag, I was surprised at the weight of the canvas itself. I mean, when you think of it, the size of it, there's going to be some weight in it. But I found the tent to be sort of, you know, 12, 13 kilos itself, before you have the inner and the poles and pegs and stuff. All in all, the whole package, I reckon, would be 18 to 20. So let's say it's a heavier lightweight, but it's, for a tent this size, it's a lot less than a big pyramid tent. And I really do think that for two or a family of three, this would be a fantastic longer term camp tent if you wanted to go away for a week or two. I think these tents are better for better weather. These storm skirts, they have lugs on them there, so they can be completely pegged down to make it yourself a little bit better against wind and rain. But leaving them like this, it means that as the hot air rises in the tent, it draws the air under, and it makes these things so much cooler on a really hot day like today. It's quite sticky today, actually. So they are a really, really good summer tent if you're going away, you know, I don't know, Yorkshire Dales, or popping down to the Wye or into the New Forest, something like that, and you want something that's going to keep you for a week or two. I think this would be fantastic. Probably not so good on the back of a bicycle, but certainly would work on the back of a big motorcycle. And as you can see, with the large space inside the living area, you could even bring your bike in if you wanted to. Okay, so that's it. This tent will be promoted on my Facebook page, Tents for Sale, so tune into that for a bit more details and the price. Thank you very much.